Welcome back to Midday. We are at the Kamloops Art Gallery this afternoon, checking out the latest exhibit that's being shown in the Cube. Assistant Curator Craig Wilms joining us for an explanation about some of the more very fascinating pictures that are a part of this exhibit today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We will introduce it as being called The Wasteland, and it is by a local artist, all of these paintings. Andrea Kastner is the name of the artist. Craig, you'll have to fill us in on where the title comes from, first of all.
Oh, well, the title of the exhibition is The Wasteland, and it comes from the T.S. Eliot poem of the same name. And in particular, she's reflecting on a line that states, "These fragments I have shored against my ruins."
What does that mean?
Well, she really looks at the places that she resides. So she's looking at fragments of history and literal physical fragments and ruins of a city, and kind of investigating those layers and getting behind what makes up the community.
Often when somebody comes into a city, you see the beautiful parts of the city, the parts that the city wants you to see, the beautiful flowers and the mountains, the lakes and the rivers. But in these paintings, we're seeing some of the areas that are a little more tucked away, that you wouldn't see unless you went out exploring, for example. The picture that is behind us, perhaps we can talk a bit about where that was painted and what that's all about.
Yeah, so she sees these facades and the kind of the parts of the city you encounter first, and then she goes into the alleyways. And in particular, here we have a shot downtown, and she's looking at what's kind of behind what people and communities present. So it is hard to find places, but also it's looking at kind of layers of history. In fact, she has explored the museum and archives and found old footage and old images of Kamloops that have been included in the exhibition as well.
So more than one idea goes into each painting?
Yeah, actually many ideas. With this idea of fragments and ruins too, she has looked at kind of how elements and things are discarded, both historically and people's garbage, or what we build upon or tear down. So it involved a few visits to the landfill and seeing some discarded garbage cans and things in the alleyways, and kind of putting those together in collage and then painting these compositions.
Okay. It also says that she looks at the changing state of the city that she resides in. So she's done this, perhaps taken a closer look at the other cities that she's lived in. You said that she's also spent time in Edmonton, for example.
Yeah, I think originally she's from Montreal and studied in Edmonton. So what I really liked about having her in here is she took an approach that really looked at the locale of where she was. So it wasn't just kind of going out and painting landscapes, or it was really trying to figure something out about the sense of place of a location. So it's really strong part of, I think, her practice.
What is the overall message you think she's trying to leave with the people taking a look at this exhibit?
Well, one element of it is having people just look at what they amass, and just how many things are collected by people and then discarded, and then relating that to how we kind of do that in our communities. So buildings kind of come and go, and we build upon them. There may be a heritage element that's restored, and then just kind of what character we learn by going behind those facades and getting a little deeper into, well, as I mentioned, the history and the people, and what they do kind of behind the scenes.
So getting just beyond this exhibit, I just wanted to mention quickly something about the fact that whatever shows up in this cube, in this room, is something that is regional, something that you choose.
Oh, yes, correct. The Cube is focused on regional artists, and in particular, I like to kind of get people to treat it as a project space. I've really been working on that for the upcoming year, and working with artists and approaching them to do something for this space and have something that reflects either a region or an idea that can draw people in, I would say.
All right. Do you want to hear from people that may have something to offer you for this room?
Absolutely, all the time. I'm taking artist dossiers constantly, and also just on my own, kind of keeping an eye out for what people are working on and what their practice is like, and hopefully taking either a new and very contemporary look at the place they live in and their approach to an art practice.
And it's nice to have a room dedicated to showing off some of the regional expertise and the regional talent of our community.
Oh yeah, it's great. And it's also for many, not in this case, it's a good opportunity to really discover what it is to set up a kind of professional art exhibition.
Absolutely. All right. We appreciate you talking to us today about this, Craig. For anyone that's interested, this exhibit called The Wasteland will be here on display at the Kamloops Art Gallery running now through until March 22nd. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.